Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this impromptu Gosu Pizza Supreme Show Match series between the one and only Destiny and the mighty Nathanias. A match perhaps of the clerical era. My name is TotalBiscuit. I'm joined on the stream here by Gosu Pizza's very own Lycan.
How you doing?
I'm doing alright. I'm doing better because I get to see some fantastic Starcraft. You know, I think the Shoutcraft Sandisk Invitational was a really good lead up to this. It was good. Bit of a warm-up, you know? The appetizer before the main course. This high-quality StarCraft we're going to be seeing today.
Only the background, especially when Destiny and Nathanias are involved. I woke up today and I literally said to myself, you know what? I just want to throw money at players. And I tweeted it out, and these two were the ones who responded.
Of course. I mean, these are the kind of guys that if money was thrown in front of them on the street, they would simply scrounge it up immediately. They would get their hands dirty, they'd get down on their hands and knees, just scrape it up as quickly as they could. They'd fight off others with broken bottles, knives. It's a tough esports world out there.
I think Nathanias would cast 6-year-olds playing Mortal Kombat. Someone paid him to do it.
Absolutely, yeah. To be fair, I would also cast 6-year-olds playing Mortal Kombat if someone paid me to do it, although I imagine there would be quite a lot of fallout from allowing 6-year-olds to play Mortal Kombat. But I would like to test it. That's the kind of thing I would love to try. Now, I don't know what's up with Destiny, but he is currently failing the first test, which is the ability to join the game. We'll give him another shot. Yeah. You haven't put game hard on, have you? Not by the looks of it.
Oh, where's that setting?
It's not a big deal. We can put it on the next map.
What's it under?
It's under custom mods.
Oh, you have to choose the game with game
Yeah,
heart.
you've got to do an extension mod for it.
All right, next game we'll have game heart.
All right, cool. I'm glad to see our production values are as high as this deserves to be. Where did Destiny go?
Probably to poop. I'd say poop.
Give him 5 minutes, then he forfeits his money. I'll get him moving.
That's an expensive poop.
Absolutely. The best laxative you could possibly get. Hey, Destiny, we're giving your money to Nathan. Right back in there.
So your team's about to start playing. You excited?
Yeah, it should be good. I'm pretty confident about Heart's ability to beat Violet, and Alicia's ability to beat Bomber is... Well, he did it last time, but you know how Bomber is. Like, there's days when Bomber looks completely untouchable, like best in the world untouchable. Then there's days where, like, did Bomber actually show up today, or was it Bomber's cousin that just wanted to ride in his coattails? I don't really understand who this guy is. Bomber's lore always applies, of course, so... I don't know. It's always hard. I love to root for Bomber, but I think like being a Bomber fan is a very difficult thing, and it's a very painful experience for a lot of people.
All right, so since we had the AFK guy, we're gonna go ahead and restart it as game heart.
All right, cool.
So if you actually want to go ahead and start it, you can do that. That way we don't have to wait for me to.
That. I'll just randomly start putting them on Shoutcraft Clan Wars maps. It's like you never played this one before. Give it a try. Yeah, I can set this up, no problem at all. For those just tuning in, why don't you explain what on earth Gosu Pizza is and why they're watching the stream? So
Gosu Pizza is anyone who wants to play, whatever league you're in. We hold league-specific tournaments. So your bronze, you're going to play bronze, plat, you're going to play plat, etc. And it's free to sign up. You know, we only take the first 16 to sign up, but the winner gets free pizza. And who doesn't love pizza, let alone free pizza?
That's pretty good. Do you get to choose where the pizza comes from?
To an extent. So we've had issues. I've had my card canceled 3 times.
Wow.
Ordering pizzas in different countries. And so basically now we revert to gift cards. If you're in the United States or Canada, we can send you a gift card for the pizza that you have available in your area. Otherwise, you get a Jinx gift certificate instead, which, hey, you know, $20 will get you a shirt on Jinx.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't eat your shirt, though.
What's that?
You can't eat the shirt, though.
No, you can't.
Seems like the kind of thing you should have considered.
Well, didn't Apollo eat a hat?
He tried. I have it on good authority that Apollo pussied out of that, though. That was actually just a promo shot, if you can believe it. Just disgusting. Disgusting behavior.
Oh, man. I wouldn't eat a hat. That'd probably ruin something.
I imagine so. Okay, so Destiny's still FK. We're trying to get him in. Give him another shot. And I believe you should just be able to join off me now that we're...
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Just make things a little easier.
on my way in. I'm downloading it. It's my first time on this map.
Wow, exciting. Well, I imagine you're downloading Gameheart, not Frost. It's like, it's your first time on Frost. Okay, all right then.
Had it vetoed for 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, I don't really blame you. All right, fantastic. Destiny's in. I'm trying to think of, like, what team I could pick. I'm tempted to just pick random teams for him. Like, I could pick CJ Entus, but I don't want to jeopardize my relationships with Kesper teams, so maybe not the best of ideas. Gamma Bears, they're dead. He can be Gamma Bears. There we go. Dead team for dead game. Excellent. All right. Let's see if these guys are ready to rock and roll. Looks like they might be. Definitely looks like they might be. We're going to turn off Passing of the Blue Crown there, which is an absolutely fantastic track, and go into the Starcraft music, which is maybe not quite as good.
Is this guy going to be doing the ops?
I have no idea who that is. So, he can go away. I didn't invite him. I don't know how he got in here. Let's go. Oh, great. Yep. Picking blue and slightly different shade of blue. Okay, that's a good start.
At least the races are different.
Yeah, well, Gameheart will save the day on that one. I can tell you that for a fact. All right, folks, we're loading in. First map is going to be Frost. Ellie, it's going to be a best of 5 series here between Destiny and Nathanias. It's going to be some top-notch StarCraft action.
It's going to be a lot of fun. TVZ now with the new changes to Hellbat, absolutely love it.
Of course, yeah. It's enough, I think, to set Destiny on edge a little bit.
Yeah, I watched his stream yesterday. He did pretty well against some Terran. So I am excited to see what Nathanias and Destiny are going to pull out.
That would explain why Ruff switched to Protoss today and beat him then. All right, let's see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gosu Pizza Supreme Show Match. Supreme. Absolutely. What, Nathanias? To the northwest position here of Frost, a classic map that is now dead. It's completely gone, just like the game. In the light blue trunks, playing Terran. It's Nathanias of Root Gaming. Seems like Root will take just about anyone these days.
He's back on the team. He used to be there. Took off to let his casting career grow. And deciding, time to go back.
Yeah, why not? If they take Major back, they'll take anyone. And in the northeast position, who I have decided will, for today, be on Team Gamma Bears, because they have the best logo, and their team is sadly dead now. To the northeast position, in the other blue trunks, playing Zerg, it is Destiny.
And if you guys haven't heard, Destiny has a tournament coming up. I don't know the exact date, but you can find it on Reddit. And I'm pretty excited to see it. $5,000, I think he said, total. Yeah. You can put into the tournament.
Yep. He released his invite list, which... Let's just be abundantly clear. It's an invite list. It is a very optimistic invite list. But I certainly hope that some of those guys will turn up, because it sounds like a good tournament. And I believe he's calling it Destiny 1. That's why the hell not.
It's a pretty exciting sounding name. Destiny 1.
Destiny 1. It sounds like... I think that's a space station, frankly. I can see in the next 20 years we'll have a space station called Destiny 1.
I can absolutely see that.
Expansion going down right here for Destiny. So, Hatch first play. Very standard 12-12 here for Nathanias, probably going into the Reaper. Now, I expect some creativity out of Nathanias, honestly. Because Lord knows he can't hold up mechanically.
No, absolutely not. And I want to see... I wonder if he's going to go for... he's not going to go for the fast expand. He's going to go for the quicker Hellion factory.
You think? All right. Okay. It'll be nice to see a little bit of aggression, a little bit of poking coming out of there. Nathanias with the scout here as well. Really early scout from Nathanias and also a Reaper. Interesting. Like playing... I don't know. I mean, it is Frost, so I suppose he just gets lucky. He scouts the northeast and says, all right, fair enough then. I can just back off. No problem at all. Doesn't look like he wants to do anything too silly, like try and place a bunker. I wonder if we'll... Yep, second... excellent. Second Reaper coming out. Nathanias unveiling some next level of Illo strats right there. And... you were lagging.
I was just going to say... Yep, just a little bit. Was that me?
It was, yes.
Now, let me turn this off. Maybe that'll help. I had your stream open, so I could watch the chat.
Yeah, don't do that. We're far too high bitrate for that. We're actually not. Time Warner is terrible, but... Destiny's getting a bit rustled. We need to watch out for this. I have noticed that Those who were perhaps en route in the past do tend to get upset by poor playing conditions and forfeit tournaments, so it's very careful. It should be easy. We need to be a bit careful just to make sure that everything's running fine for him. I'll
Wait,
send
was
over...
Todd en route?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I remember a video, I think it was Todd, Warcraft 3 LAN tournament.
Can't be. Todd would never do something like that. Absolutely not. All right, a little bit of Reaper action. Let's see Nathanias dance. I've seen Nathanias dance. It was a very depressing experience. Oh, but he gets a drone. What was that drone doing there? Destiny just leaving that line there for him. A little gift. A little gift for our Terran brethren.
No, he's doing well. He's keeping him alive. And is he going to get out? That one is low.
Yep, Destiny just kind of gives up halfway through. Which, was a fairly standard build there for Destiny.
And we do have the factory, and of course, we are going to see the Hellions. I think that's, a given. The question is whether or not the reactor or the armory will go down.
Man, that's a really early starport, though, for Nathanias, gotta say.
Cloak's Banshee?
Maybe, yeah. I like that. Actually, we saw a Spore Crawler there, but of course cancelled. That was to try and keep it away from Nathanias' Reaper. Nathanias loses one Reaper, gets another Scout. He's only killed one worker so far, and that was the donor worker. There's the second one, though. 2 workers for 2 Reapers, not brilliant. If he gets out of this will be nice, and he does. There you go.
So that's good. That is going to just add that little bit more potency to the push when he goes with the Hellions and the Reaper and the Banshee.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a little bit extra hit points in that push. I wonder if he will go for the Hellbat push, or if he's just going to go with straight-up Hellion Banshee. It seems like if he's going to be building Banshees, he's not going to have the gas for an armory anytime soon, so... I don't know, though. It is Nathanias. He has very special ideas about how to play StarCraft.
Yeah, and he's got the Destiny has the third coming down, so Nathanias is going to want to start pressuring that, trying to get it to not be there anymore. You want to delay it, you want to get rid of it, and with the new Hellbat change, it makes it very easy to deter any kind of lings that could save an early third hatch.
That is true, but with Cloak coming down, I don't see Nathanias necessarily having the gas for the armory. He might decide to do it. I mean, if he did, though, he's foregoing, like, eBay upgrade, stim, combat shield, everything in favor of just trying to do more damage, which maybe is not such a great idea. And the Tech Lab coming down here on the barracks indicates that Nathanias will want to transition out of this into a more straight-up bio play. We'll see. We never know. He might come up with something crazy. In the meantime, as the Hellions push onto creep, Destiny moving in with the lair and getting a couple of Spore Crawlers up. That is not enough links to deal with that unless Nathanias donates the Hellions over. And looks like he's...
Nope.
Oh, nice.
Almost got a queen.
Yeah. Destiny on the ball.
Yeah, that would be definitely a huge investment. You bring down that armory and go for Cloak Banshee. You're basically hoping to God that your Hellbats are enough to take care of whatever he throws at him and making it a horribly cost-inefficient trade.
Pretty much, yeah. So I don't think we're going to be seeing too much of that. There's a couple more barracks being added on. And there is the Banshee. Cloaking field going to be done in about 10 seconds. Spore Crawl at the front there. I like that positioning for Destiny, actually. He's clearly identified what's coming. And he has what he needs to deal with it, but he's sort of trying to push these away and get enough lings to crush this army. And right now, he only barely has enough, and it's a bit dicey one way or the other.
Yeah, and he's going for, instead of a Roach Warren, he's going for a Spire.
Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, I suppose he's exploiting the fact that there's only one Marine on the map. I mean, it's a pretty good thing to do. And he's over halfway done on the Spire. There's still only one Marine being produced at a time. So it's not brilliant for Nathanias. And Banshees can't shoot that. And I would say surround. I mean, Nathanias should have done a bit more damage there, but he tried to move away as opposed to shoot. So that didn't help too much. Destiny crushes that at the third base. Great transfusers as well. And the Queens will stay alive. And that push soundly thrashed with fair minimal damage done, really.
Yeah, really good. Still only 2 workers killed by Nathanias. So definitely good for Destiny. He is going to go into the Mutas. And while there aren't too many Marines out, he doesn't have the medevacs to hold him out. So even if a few Marines came out, not really going to hold off those Muta pushes.
Yeah, it might be a bit of a problem. I mean, Nathanias is still on 2 bases. He is at least building missile turrets, but Mutas, especially with the close-by air position, might be pretty good here. Let's see Burrow coming out of Destiny here as well. There's the +1 flyer attack upgrade follow-up. And Destiny should be able to pin Nathanias back in his base for a while here. Armory's coming up, which is kind of interesting. He does have double eBay, but he's only kind of started his +1 weapons, so... things are sort of a bit misaligned there. I'm not sure if he's going to try and maybe make a few more Hellbats, but I think it's just for 2-2.
I think he might be either this factory's making a reactor for another barracks, or he's going to go into Hellbat Marine.
It's nice. I like Hellbat Marine a lot. And we're seeing it mixed in a little bit in WCS now. They're tossing a few Hellbats into the mix because they're knowing that the Zerg players are for the most part going Ling Bane, Ling Muta. So having a few Hellbats in there can be absolutely phenomenal for you.
Yep, definitely. And it does look like it because he's kept that reactor on the factory.
All right, cool. I like to see that. You may also decide to use it for Widow Mines. Depends on how large this Muta flock gets. So far, not too big. Only 8. And resuming drone production here for Destiny.
Destiny on the way. Upgrades are just a little bit ahead. Nathanias is going to finish +1 weapons a little before.
And he's going to push out with... I mean, it's a decent Marine count, honestly. And frankly, Destiny's been getting really, really greedy. Getting super fat here on 72 drones. The third base getting taken. I wonder if Nathanias will try and push out here, if he's just trying to secure the third. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing both. Start to throw down some defense at your third, throw down some mules, and then actively push out across the map. Burrow is done, though, so Baneling landmines could be a threat, but there aren't really enough Banes yet to make that happen. There's another 10 coming in, though.
Look how pretty they are. I love that.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Where did they go? They ran away from me. This always happens. There they are. Just gorgeous. I'm sure Nathanias will love them.
Would be nice.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to go, especially if Nathanias gets really greedy and drops a huge amount of mules. That would be pretty fantastic. I mean, Nathanias isn't really attacking with a huge group at this point. He's just sort of poking forward and securing his third base. And in come the Lings. Banelings rolling in.
Oh!
The splits from Nathanias, not heart level, I'm afraid. So he's going to be sent back with his tail between his legs. Pretty solid connections. There's going to be at least 1 medevac lost here, too.
Yep, and that whole time I'm thinking of Destiny's rape analogy in the Banelings. You saw him going in, and he does it every time. He swings in the Lings to grab the Marines and then put the Banelings inside him.
Yes, one of Destiny's higher brow moments there with that incredible family-friendly humor. Whatever the case, Destiny is now simply wheeling around with these Mutalisks, trying to look for medevac drops, trying to get some pickoffs. Here's the borrowed Banelings in the middle of the map. Nathanias is unfortunately nowhere near them. To be fair, getting good borrowed Baneling connections on Frost, one of the biggest maps in the map pool, is a little bit difficult. You gotta... Oh, hello, there's the scan. And actually catches that. The thing with the borrowed Banelings is you got to try and sometimes keep them away from the edge of the creep, because of course the Terran's going to scan. It's going to catch your borrowed Banelings in the process as well, so it's a little bit tricky there. So far, we've got a couple of Widow Mines being moved around the map. Maybe that... Oh, they're actually going to be seen by an Overlord as well. Wow. Okay. This is probably the slowest Widow Mine drop in history, coming down towards what looks like the 4th base.
Yeah, Destiny overall has very good map vision, except for the very bottom. Nathanias would have to go the longest route around to not get seen.
Yep, and that's going to be a fair amount of dead Marines here by the looks of it, but Destiny does decide to pull back. Currently, the upgrade's equal, and Nathanias with a fair count of Marines there. The Widow Mine drop was shut down quite nicely. Infestation Pit is being added on here. Looks like it's just to go up to Hive by the looks of it, but you never know with Destiny. You might sneak a few Infestors in there for good measure, and Nathanias trying to threaten the 3rd base. Nice pre-split here by Nathanias, but the Baneling flank coming in from all sides, and that's a lot of dead Terran.
That is absolutely no Widow Mine good hits at all.
Absolutely awful. It turns out that if you roll the dice in the Widow Mine, you don't control them, they're actually pretty terrible. So you got to watch out for that.
Yep, QXC does really well at controlling Widow Mines.
Absolutely. It's pretty advanced. I mean, even Pulp doesn't do it all that well. He's often focusing on other things. There's only a few Terran that are really doing great control on the Widow Mines. Oh! Scan by Nathan. And lag from Gandalf. Good lord. Do you lag precisely when you mean to? I have to ask.
No, Comcast. Someone is watching the stream from Comcast, and they are nailing me at the good moments.
Ah, well, the first mistake was trying to use Skype with Comcast. But here comes the push here from Nathanias. And he's going to send a few Marines down to the 4th base as well, which might be enough to do a little bit of damage, maybe pick off a Queen. In the meantime, Nathanias' small army is going to get enveloped by a huge number of Lings, which are about to be 2-2. Nathanias has a small edge in upgrades for the time being. This little hit squad down there has done some damage. The Mutas are coming in, and they should be able to clean this up without too much problem at all. 2-2 is about to kick in, as well as +2 flyer here, so... Destiny's still looking really, really good. Nathanias on fairly low army supply, but his worker count is looking actually too good. He's completely oversaturated at the 3rd base there. Wants to look to try and take a 4th, although with Destiny with that large an army, I'm not sure if he's going to get the opportunity.
I think the Widow Mines are a bad investment. I think he'd be much more successful if he was putting Hellbats into them. They take a little more control, but you're a little more guaranteed to actually do some damage.
Yeah, you know, Widow Mines, if you don't control them, are rolling the dice, yeah? It's like a Mad Bomber in Hearthstone. You just place the damn things and you hope that they don't kill you. And you can see them right there doing absolutely nothing other than killing a Zergling, hitting a Marauder, and even with a large field of mines, it does nothing unless you control them, and Destiny just steamrolled the front completely. Now that third base is exposed, very much so, and I have a feeling it's going to be very dead very quickly.
Yep, nothing really to hold it. Only one turret, one bunker. This base is gone.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Didn't even need the Banelings there, really. There's, frankly, enough +2 Mutalisks to kill these Marines anyway. They're coming out a little bit at a time, and the production's going to get camped here momentarily. It's definitely possible for Nathanias to push this back, but with reinforcements being rallied across the map and no harassment... And bear in mind, Nathanias has only killed 6 workers this entire game, and Terran are kind of supposed to harass. He wasn't able to do that. And unfortunately, I have a feeling Nathanias is going to drop this map pretty heavily.
Yep, that's key. You can't let Zerg get 4 bases like
GG.
Destiny is in GG.
Destiny with the nice start here on Frost. I mean, just playing straight up, really. I'm always interested to see that Destiny seems to like to go for the +2 flyer attack before a lot of other players do. That's intriguing, and not a lot of players really prioritize that, but his Muta use is interesting. He doesn't really use them to harass, it's mostly just for drop denial and then firepower, picking off medevacs and getting them into the big fight and just overwhelming his opponent with Lings and Baneling, which is fine. Nathanias wasn't really able to split, and his mines were pretty awful, honestly.
Yeah, those mine hits have to be critical, and like you said, you know, there was no control over them, and that is how you make those mines count. Especially in those big engagements with a lot of Banelings and Mutalisks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If it hits the center of a Mutaflock, then it's absolutely fantastic. If it doesn't, then it's either hitting your stuff or it's hitting the occasional Ling or Overseer. And then it's just like, well, why did I even build this thing? It's a complete waste of time. Oh, yeah, that was not brilliant, unfortunately, there for the one and only Nathanias. Gonna have to step up his game. You wanna... I want to see a bit of mech from Nathanias, actually, at this point.
Mech would be nice.
Yeah.
No turtle mech. You know, did you see the game with Major last night? The stalemate?
Yeah, it actually killed my passion for Starcraft 2 right then and there. Just dead. Completely dead. It was extremely effective. Like, honestly, if I had a DNR request on my living will, it would probably be done with that game. Like, you wouldn't even have to turn off the respirator and the life support machine. Just show me that game again, and I will quietly pass into the night. No complaints. Trust me.
I was very impressed that all the gas had been mined. Enough gas had been mined that he could not just overwhelm that small force of Ravens.
Yeah, well, the cute thing is if he'd built a couple of Vipers, he could have won that game. And the weird thing is that the chances are Major could have won that game from that position. Like, when only 2 Corruptors left, it's entirely possible he could have slowly chipped away at the Queens using Seeker missiles and over maybe the course of 20 minutes actually won. But, yeah. That game was actually an embarrassment to StarCraft 2, and I certainly hope that we never see us like again, but, well, unfortunately, when you go full-on Turtle Mech versus Swarm Host, that shit happens.
Somewhat begs the question, though. Would you rather see... What do you find worse? That? Or, you know, the issues that you see with Swarm Hosts?
Well, I think that one compounds the other, you know? I mean, the only reason that Major went to that particular strat is because he was under pressure from Swarm Hosts, and that's really the only way to cost-effectively deal with them.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are about ready to go for Game 2 here in the Gosu Pizza Supreme show match. Destiny currently leads at 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. I'm just going to check if the guys are ready to go. I'll see maybe a bit of Gangnam tearing out of Nathanias on this map. Why not? It's a good map for it.
Yep, it would be nice. And hopefully we won't have any lag issues at critical moments, because I hope to goodness that I was not the cause of those Banelings not getting better hits.
I'm going to blame you entirely for it. I'm sure Destiny will too, so you better watch out, man. Destiny can only play under the most ideal conditions. Anything less than that.
I will absolutely hear it. I will hear it, and his stream will come after me and threaten my children that I don't have yet.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, they'll probably make sure you never have them at all, so you gotta watch out.
You know, those bad Baneling hits, we are going to castrate you.
Pretty much. I mean, that just seems entirely reasonable. Well, Nathanias is not lifting off his command center, which disappoints me greatly. So, to the northeast position in the light blue trunks, currently down... Oh, it's a best of 5 series. There we go. Currently down 1 game in this best of 5 series. Padding out the loss stats for Team Root, it is Nathanias. Versus his opponent, who I have now decided is from Team George Washington University. To the northwest position in the blue trunks, playing Zerg, it is Destiny. They will not be able to read that. I believe you actually set to observer only.
Oh, God bless.
It's okay.
You.
I can relay it. I can relay it. The organizer is asking you to be as manner as possible. Children are watching. That was what you wanted me to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Hopefully that will invoke the same response I was going for.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, I certainly imagine it will. All right, well, Nathanias is going for the barracks. Will we see a gas follow-up? Yes, we will. So it seems like Nathanias is probably going to open the same almost every game. That's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with opening with that Reaper. But what's Destiny going to do? Is he going to maybe take a risk and try and nab that gold? He is scouting. He's looking for proxy barracks here. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't trust Nathanias ever with anything.
Destiny is going to expand before pool. You know, and I can't see Nathanias going without a gasless opening. It's a dangerous thing to do against Zerg, especially on a map with such a quick rush distance.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You don't want to do anything like that. I mean, this is the kind of... Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, that was you lagging just a little bit there. Anyway, it's like, you don't really want to do that, because, I mean, a map like this, a 7 Roach rush is totally viable. Just, like, general Roach aggression can do a lot of damage. And, of course, if the Zerg decides to take the gold very early, they can pump out a huge amount of units very fast. So you want to watch out for that. Destiny's going to scout, of course, see, hey, oh, it's actually going to be a Marine out first here for Nathanias. And that might be a dead Overlord if he controls it well. We'll see.
But I don't think he's going to get it.
No, I don't think so. He was hoping for it. Maybe if he'd started firing a little earlier, but no, it's not going to happen. Looks like Destiny's going to get out of there with about 70 hit points. 60. Give or take. I don't know if he actually would have got that one way or the other. We've seen a few Terrans do this, actually. We saw it in WCS. I think Bomber was opening up with a Marine instead into a Reaper, because a lot of Zergs these days are presuming it's going to be a Reaper, so they're a little bit more blasé with Overlord placement. So if a Marine pops out, you can end up getting it, which is always nice.
One of the things that I think the best Overlord kill I saw was that I think it was a GSL match, possibly, where they used the Root Cat's built, where he built the what do you call it, Spore Crawler, and that Overlord came over and died to the Spore Crawler. It was a ZVZ.
Yeah, that was actually kind of great. I remember that. It was awesome. It's interesting to see Cat's builds get used in GSL matches, like, and Pro League as well. Like, that is something I will never get used to. It's like, wow, this is what would happen if you took that strategy and put it in the hands of someone who's really, really good.
And, you know, that's what I wonder. Is it because, you know, Cats isn't just at that level, or is it
because Cats is bad? Is that what you're asking right now?
No. I'm asking, is it because, you know, Cats is working? Cats, you know, manages a team.
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, he's working. Definitely. He's too busy to practice. I understand. I know where you're getting at. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're all friends here.
I'm going to blacklist myself with so many people just by this little tournament.
I wouldn't worry about it. As far as I can hear, all the esports journalism is about to die because of Reddit, so blacklisting's no longer going to be a thing.
Yeah, you know, because we want to consume that content, but God forbid you give it to us yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, today, Jack Attack's sister, tomorrow, the entirety of the Starcraft 2 community. That's just how it's going to go. I heard that Reddit was bought off by Riot. Wow, Nathanias, an early Marauder here. Interesting, okay. That is, alright, Marauder Hellion. That's a little bit of a classic Wings of Liberty play. And I imagine he's probably going to throw he could throw a medevac down right now. What is he waiting for with this gas? Oh, yeah, it's good. Okay, it's just going to be a Viking. Yeah, so very Poltesque.
Yeah, you know, and that is, I don't know if he was expecting, you know, automatically roaches were going to be coming, or...
I don't know. It's a weird kind of blind play by Nathanias, because, you know, he scouted a pool and one gas and not much else. So
yeah, he has no vision of the rest of the build on
yeah.
Destiny's side.
No, I mean, he lost his Reaper, and he's currently supply blocked. Looks like a bit of the competitive nerves getting to Nathanias here. I totally understand that. I usually get supply blocked at... Yeah, it's 46. Yeah, I get supply blocked here. And at 27, get supply blocked there. And at 54 sometimes. So, yeah, I totally know. And he needs to be building a little bit faster than that, actually. This is really limiting his ability to actually kill anything. But Viking is now out, so... Yeah, very Polt. It's going to get one Overlord at least. Maybe a couple more. Hellions are now out as well, and they look for a third base, and strangely enough, Destiny doesn't have one. He's going up to lair on 2 bases here.
Oh, but Nathanias taking a fight on creep against Banes and Lings.
Well, slow Banes, and Destiny doesn't really have enough Lings to surround here, so this actually works pretty well, and Nathanias is going to be able to find himself a choke point here, and he's going to roast a couple of Lings here and there. But I'm just really weirded out by these Marauders. Like, okay, I suppose you could use them to... Ah, okay, he's going Armory. Alright, so we might actually just see straight up Marauder Hellbat, which I definitely do like. The main problem is Destiny's going 2-base Spire, which is pretty much the hard counter to this.
Yep, absolutely. And no, the question is whether or not he throws down reactors on those and gets enough Marines out quickly.
Yeah, and he's going to need him pretty damn fast here as well. Destiny going for this round right here. Can he get it? Can he get it? Can he get it? Yes! Yes, he kind of gets it. Yeah. That's worthy of hype, right? He sort of killed some Hellions.
Yeah, a few Hellions.
Yeah. I mean, this is where the crowd just goes wild, right? And throws thundersticks in the air and men just ripping shirts off left and right.
The dongers were raised.
Oh, they were, yes. And then the police were called. Okay, so what do we got? Armory? Yes. So we're going to see Hellbats. Well, probably not anymore. Yeah, we will, actually. Yeah, Nathanias is still on 4 Hellions, so absolutely. Let's see some Hellbats and some Widow Mines and some random units. Basically, everything that doesn't shoot up. That's going to do not so well. And we've seen Nathanias' Widow Mine look, right? It's not that great.
No. He's going for that potluck build. I don't like the Widow Mine transition. I think he should have kept those 2 Hellions making.
Yeah, totally. I would have liked to see that, but unfortunately, Nathanias down only on 2 Hellions. You can make them the Hellbats, which is always nice. And we're going to see a drop, a single Hellbat and a Marauder. That's unexpected.
Wow.
You don't usually see a drop like that. And there's a good reason why you don't usually see a drop like that. Because it doesn't work. Doesn't actually do anything. That's the main problem. Especially if the boost runs out right before you hit the drone line, which is exactly what happened there. And Destiny's going to drive that away with his signature 5,000 Queen build.
You know, Nathanias does have a slightly more advanced third than Destiny, but if he can't get any damage done, it's not gonna do much good because Destiny's gonna run around the map with his mutas.
Yeah. Widowmine somehow has 11 kills. I'm trying to figure out where it got them from, but whatever the case, the Lings are cleaning this up quite nicely. Banelings coming in as well, and Muta's now on the field. And how many units do we have that shoot up? Well, we've got 4 Widowmines that we know are traitors, and 4 Marines, and that's 1 dead medevac as well. So this is looking all right. I mean, like you said, Nathanias does have that 3rd CC, but I don't think he's going to be able to move it anywhere anytime soon. Destiny's not going to let him.
No, he has that map control down packed as of right now. He's got enough Lings and Banes to run around. He's got a decent creep spread. It's not really, encroaching on Nathanias too much, but those mutas and those Lings are fast enough that Nathanias isn't going to put that base down anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. He might try, though. There's a Ling right there. So this is a ballsy move here by Nathanias, who really does not have enough units to actually defend that base against what currently is on the field here for Destiny, who's on like a surprisingly low drone count here. He's building 6 more drones, but he's also adding 16 more Lings into it. The single Zergling is going to start work on this orbital command, and Nathanias will be forced to move out. And in the meantime, the Lings and the Mutas are going to come in. 1 Widowmine picked off. Didn't quite get the second one. It would have been a lovely pick off if he got that. So for the time being, that's going to stay safe. But once this Muta count starts to go high, Nathanias, I think, is going to have to get a few missile turrets at that 3rd base. Otherwise, it's very open.
Definitely taking this engagement on creep.
That wasn't brilliant. Destiny donating a large number of Banelings, and the Hellbat even survives, which is kind of insult to injury there.
Yep, these mutas coming out. They don't have an Overlord with them to sight those Widow Mines.
Yep, Overseer just joined in. There's just not a lot of Mutalisks, really. The drop's going to come in here. Destiny does need to respond to that. He's going to lose a Muta or 2, though. He brings in the Lings from the back, takes a couple of Widowmine shots. There's a nice little transfuse on the Mutas, but he lost 4 Mutalisks there. which is not that brilliant, considering it was to, like, 1 medevac and 8 Marines or so. So Nathanias actually trading really well there, but now the Ling Run By is actually going to come in and hit that third base, which should do significant damage. Banelings have been burrowed here. I love this. I don't think Nathanias saw it. He's right on top. No! Oh, Destiny almost with some moon-like Baneling detonations there. He did kind of catch the tail end of the force, but that could have definitely been a little bit better. But regardless, the third base is sacked, you know, and Nathanias is sent packing.
No, he did save a lot of those SCVs, pulled them out with the medevac, which is nice. But yeah, overall, that base is sacked. Destiny now moving up to 4th base. In this command center thinking it's going somewhere it shouldn't.
Yeah, it doesn't want to go in that direction. Thankfully, there's only about 2 Mutalisks, so it doesn't really matter. Baneling's been scanned and eliminated, and Nathanias, I think, should be able to re-secure now. It's a shame the turrets went down, but there's not really a huge amount of Mutalisks on the field, so, I mean, if you want to put some Widow Mines somewhere, put them here. Yeah, put them just around the edge of the gold mineral patches. They're pretty much guaranteed to hit a Mutalisk or something. It's a good place to put them where they don't blow up your own Marines. Upgrade-wise, we're also going to see a pretty nice advantage for Nathanias in about, let's see, yeah, in about a minute. He should have a slight upgrade lead on his opponent, so that should work pretty well.
I definitely really like the mobility of Destiny's army, but, you know, adding in those banelings, it has such a huge impact on the Terran, because now you're afraid of burrowed banelings and you're scanning a lot more often, and that takes a hit on your economy.
Oh, wow. I'm seeing 2 more factories go down, and incidentally, I was talking out my arse earlier. It's actually a slight upgrade advantage for the Zerg player, although that's going to be evened out momentarily here. It's a little drop, which is going to get cleaned up quite nicely. The Mutalisks do make their way in here, and Destiny is doing damage. And Nathanias, frankly, did not have enough defense at that third base, so he's going to lose a bunch of SCVs again, which is not that ideal. But what do you reckon to these 2 factories? What's going on with that?
I think maybe he's just going to start producing those. I don't think he's going to do a tech switch into mech, but I think he's going to start producing more Hellbats.
Yeah,
I hope he
like
goes into Hellbats.
Yeah, either that or just a lot of Widow Mines. I mean, I'm okay with all of those things. Nathanias is building Marauders 4 at a time, which is interesting. I mean, I think he's just building them as a sponge, but frankly, there's enough Mutas and Lings to where building a bunch of Marauders is maybe not a very good idea.
Right, and that's why I like the Hellbat, because you get the splash damage soak of a Marauder, but you don't have that gas necessity.
Yeah, I mean, the only disadvantage really for that is just the lack of speed. They're very, very slow, but Nathanias is playing defensively, so it's really not that important. But a bit of damage being done to Destiny, actually quite a significant amount here. Nathanias has been able to kill a few workers and also pick off the spawning pool, so that's going to limit what Destiny can currently build. He's rebuilding it right now. And Destiny kind of forced backwards. But Nathanias is back on what's basically 1.5 bases at most. You know, he's pretty much mined out here at his main. And he's actually pretty heavily mined out at his natural as well. He was very slow to take his third. So, yeah, this is looking pretty problematic here for Nathanias. I really would like to know what those factories are for. And if he's going to at least add some Hellbats into the mix, I think that would be a really good idea. But no, he's going to roll the dice again on Widow Mines. Well, that's done so well for him in the past, so I'm really glad he decided to do that.
The name of the game with Terran and Zerg is, as a Terran, you have to capitalize on your victories, and his victory now is taking out that spawning pool, which means no more Lings are going to get flooded in. If he had those Hellbats, he could roast the shit out of Lings and Banelings.
True, but it does take about 5 hours to get the Hellbats over to the other side of the map, so that's a little bit of a disadvantage. The spawning pool, of course, is back up now, and the Baneling count's getting a little bit crazy. Nathanias at the front, which is great with your Marauders, unless they all get killed by Lings before the Banelings get there, and Nathanias' army gets absolutely stomped.
Yep, significant Arbor Supply lead for Destiny.
Yes, I would say so. Significant everything lead for Destiny, really. Just a bit of medevac skidding across the ground here. More Lings flooding in for Destiny here. He's at Hive. He can go for 3-3 if he wants. Nathanias is showing no sign whatsoever of trying to go for 3-3 upgrades. He's pretty much done with his upgrades for the time being. He's trying to survive and take the third base. Like, the only way he gets back in this game is if he somehow manages to mine from that third base, and Destiny has no intention of letting that happen.
No, he is trapped, and it's the Terran's worst nightmare, getting trapped on 2 bases against a 3+ base Zerg.
Yeah, pretty much, especially when all your Widow Mines are traitors and can't hit Mutalisks for love nor money, which is exactly what's happening here. Now, the Widow Mine's been totally useless. Destiny just jumps on top of the army. There's the GG, and rightfully so. And Destiny looking kind of just a little bit better than Nathanias at the moment. I think it's kind of safe to say here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good game, but Destiny had the control, and that control is horrible in TVZ as the Terran player. That's what you want to prevent. You want to prevent that Zerg from getting that control of the game.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of brutal, frankly. Not a huge amount of damage really done by Nathanias. And he doesn't seem to be able to really do any solid economic harassment on Destiny at any point. And I think that Destiny kind of has these long periods where he's on a fairly low drone count, and he seems to like to surge drones a bit later. Which I think is kind of we saw there that he stayed on 2 bases for a long time, and then he went up to his 3rd, and then his drone count went up into the 70s. I think if he was able to harass in that period of time, if Nathanias was able to do some damage, then he would be able to gain that economic lead, which lets you get enough Marines on the map to actually stop Lings from running into your 3rd base and get enough Marines to stop the Mutas from really doing anything. But Nathanias was always in a position where he was the guy who just kept taking the punches and wasn't really able to punch back.
Yeah, and next map we're going to go on to Overgrowth, which is another relatively short distance map, but it can definitely be good for that Hellbat Banshee to keep the Zerg from getting that far away 3rd. And I definitely like to see that. I think that Nathanias could benefit from going that route.
Yeah, he could benefit from not ever building Widow Mines ever again in his competitive career. That's usually a good idea. Do you feel that Nathanias' current lack of beard and as such manliness is the reason why he's losing at the moment?
I think that is absolutely it. I 100% believe that that he shaved, and with that shaving came off scrapes of his skill. And apparently it was enough to be impacting his game right here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% convinced that Nathanias had skill to begin with, but what I will say is I know for sure that Destiny currently has a beard, whereas Nathanias does not, which to me seems like a very important stat.
Do you think that was professional guidance? Do you think someone said, "Look, Nathanias, love you, kid, but you got to lose the goatee"?
Whoever did that is obviously killing esports, and I need to find him immediately. All right, which team should Destiny join this time?
Oh man. How about Axiom?
No. I think he's going to join Love Your Girlfriend. There we go.
Ah, there we go. That's a good one for Destiny.
I think so. Destiny does absolutely love his girlfriend. Alright. Root Gaming. Okay. Nathanias giving them a few more losses on Oligolac. Dragging that team rating down. Does Oligolac even have team ratings? Pretty sure it doesn't, but never mind. Alright. They're ready to rock and roll. Does Nathanias have an Oligolac stat page? Let's find out. This is really important. Is he considered competitive enough to have that?
Mattles just got an Oligolac page.
Wow, okay. Yeah, Nathanias actually does have, in fact. He is currently ranked 960th in the world. He's ranked 111th in the United States, which indicates to me the USA needs to really get their shit together. Wow, his current all-time victories against Terran are 0 in his competitive career, apparently. So that's a bit of a problem. His biggest rival is Mafia, an Australian Zerg, apparently. Interesting.
And this is all tournament.
I believe so, yes. There could be something horribly wrong with the Oligolac. His current form is showing as 0, which seems a little... that's a little weird, but... Oh my.
Maybe that shows his transition into caster away from gamer.
Yeah, of course. He's basically lining himself up for a career with Evil Geniuses at any moment. But to the southwest position here from the legendary and completely legitimate, totally not a scam team, Love Your Girlfriend, we have Destiny. He's playing Zerg in the Blue Trunks. And to the northeast position, the man who needs to get it together here, because he is currently getting his arse handed to him. He wishes he had 2-0. Absolutely not. In the light blue trunks playing Terran. Team Root Gaming's Nathanias.
Root Gaming, the Kaiser of Kappa. Can he handle it against Destiny on a 3rd round? Can he take this game and try to come back?
I'm going to go with no. Based on his form in the first 2 series and my extensive analysis of the Oligolac stats page, I'm going to go with no at this point. It just seems like Destiny plays Ling Bane Ling Muta absolutely rock solid, and Nathanias either just he doesn't split well enough. He doesn't kind of do enough early game harassment to really stop Destiny from just spamming Zerglings and Banelings. And as you said, you know, he doesn't use something like a Hellbat. He likes to use Widow Mines, but they just don't hit. So it doesn't really make much of a difference.
No, and I know we've talked about it a lot, but I really think that if he had gone Hellbat, that would help him a lot more in this matchup.
Yeah, I think so. It is something we're seeing slowly creep into the competitive metagame. Yeah, I think it's one of those kind of bronze logic moments where people say, "Oh, well, you know, this would be fixed with Hellbats," and then obviously, you know, it isn't necessarily fixed with Hellbats at all, because as soon as you throw Hellbats into the mix, that makes your army way more immobile than they otherwise would be if you were just playing Bio. But the main problem with Nathanias at the moment is he's just getting surrounded by huge amounts of Zerglings and getting killed. And it's not even on his opponent's side of the map, it's on his. So I think the mobility is less of an issue here than just killing power. So we are seeing players like Bomber just mix in a few Hellbats, and not just in that early Reaper Hellbat push, just in general. It's like, hey, I'm going to use my factory, I'm gonna build some Hellbats. I think Pulp was doing it a little bit more than Bomber lately, though. And he seems to be getting some success with it. It's not a big investment. Like, if you've got your armory, why not throw in a couple of Hellbats? Because they're probably going to be cost-effective. It's hard for a Hellbat not to be cost-effective against Lings.
Yep, yeah, early game, Hellbat, definitely going to be good, because mostly Lings are going to be produced. Yeah. Unless he goes for earlier Roaches.
Yeah, and I like it. I like him late game as well against Ling, Baneling, Muta, or at least in the mid game, because you don't have to do anything with it. They require the least skill of any unit. You just put them near Zerglings and you get kills. It's amazing.
It is, and you know, you might have to expect a little bit of splits if you know that your opponent has Banelings, but otherwise you're absolutely right. Just roast the Lings.
Yeah, totally. And frankly, if 6 Banelings run into your Hellbat, I mean, I say you don't have to do anything. It's wonderful. It's the laziest unit in the game. Like, it's even lazier than Swarm Host. Like, with Swarm Host, you kind of have to change the direction that the Locusts go every now and again. But with Hellbats, oh no, you just point them in the direction of the enemy. It's wonderful.
Hellbats are good. He did go for 3 Reapers on this map. You know, while it's not a Reaper-friendly map, this is going to force Lings, because 3 Reapers can do a number. Oh, but he loses one.
Oh, man, yeah. Destiny using his patented move slightly forward build there to take down one of the Reapers, which Nathanias was caught completely off guard. It's like, no, you would never do that. You would always attack me at maximum range. No, 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 no. Evidently not. And Destiny is not going to get that creep spread, so that's a nice little pick off there for Nathanias. But yeah, as you said, he's going for a really greedy build. But again, Destiny with his 2-base lair straight into 4 gas, so we expect to see that early Muta count.
Yep, and we do see Nathanias going to a very quick 3cc, which I do like. I very much like it. I like that he's going for the Hellions, but he needs to keep Destiny from getting his own 3rd base. And that is when this build is really going to just explode. That economy is going to skyrocket, and hopefully we'll see a lot of Hellions, Marines, and Marauders if Roaches do come into the mix.
Yeah. We'll see. He's still continuing to build Hellions, and of course no sign of an armory, so it doesn't look like we're going to see the Hellbat push there. Really early burrow coming from Destiny again. There's the Baneling nest. I mean, he's been having a decent amount of success with these Baneling landmines. So, as you said before, it forces scans, although Nathanias is going to be on triple orbital, so I don't think he actually cares at this point. But Destiny knows that. You know, he sees the orbital right in the front there with that nice little overlord, and since there's no starport up, that overlord can stay for a little while longer. In fact, it's probably going to get out of there with the pneumaticized carapace. So, Destiny obviously knows what he's doing here. The question is he going to be able to hold back this 3rd from Nathanias for long enough to really get his own economy going?
Well, you know, you go back to the Banelings. Nathanias has very few routes from which to attack directly. So if he places just a few strategically at the different entrance points, that could have a huge effect on the game if Nathanias isn't expecting the burrow and not scanning ahead.
That is true. Nathanias is going to go for the push, and he's going to find creep spread actually already through that destructible rock area, which might be a little bit of a surprise for him, and it's going to make it a bit hard for Nathanias to engage in that direction. He's probably going to have to go around the side, but Destiny's already going to see that. Those speed overlords are going to be very useful for him here. 3rd base goes down. Very cheeky move here by Destiny. Nathanias trying to get a cancel on it, and he... Oh, wow, actually, that was no cancel. Yeah, he got the kill. That's surprising. It was really kind of surprising to see Destiny put the 3rd down right underneath that. That's a bit risky. I mean, you can maybe bait the Terran in so you can surround him, but Destiny's link count at the time really wasn't high enough. Now it is, but he lost a hatchery for that. So that wasn't really great.
300 minerals, and then opening these rocks up does allow Destiny to maneuver around any kind of push that Nathanias might have, depending on what angle he comes in.
Yeah.
So it is nice, and we are seeing the Lynx using the mobility of this free extra space.
Well, I think Nathanias is getting good value out of these Hellions and Reapers at the moment. This is more than you would usually expect to see from a Hellion Reaper push, which is usually just going to keep the creep back. But getting a hatchery with it, I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal. And more to the point, Destiny is forced to kind of leave his third exposed if he wants to go and attack Nathanias' third, who is trying to set up a defense. He's not going to have one as of yet. I wonder if Destiny will try a Baneling run by on the third base. We might see that, or he might just go right in with Lings, which I think is probably the right move here. Don't wait any longer, just go and hit him.
Yep, he's got this Overlord spreading a little bit of creep.
I love that.
Lets these rings go faster.
Yeah, I don't actually see that all that often. That's actually a really cool move with the Speed Overlord. I like to see that more in competitive play. It gives your Lings just a little bit more maneuverability, which means they're going to be far more effective at killing those SCVs faster, even if you try and pull the SCVs. So I like it. It's really cool.
Yep, it's very nice. Now, Nathanias did have that base up a little faster than Destiny, actually a lot faster.
Yeah.
So he does have this nice economy sitting behind this, even with that little disruption. Those mutas aren't going to be catching him off guard like they did the last game.
It doesn't look like it, unless he forgets to build missile turrets. And this is the other really cool thing about the Overlord spread, is that you're forced to lift the orbital, but you can't put it down again for a while. So that's just a really cool move, actually, from Destiny there. And I'm kind of surprised you don't see it a lot of now. I guess because most players don't get Overlord speed that early, so usually they wouldn't have an Overlord there by the third. But hey, it worked fairly well, and since Nathanias is the latest starport I've ever seen, it's totally fine. You know, that Viking's not going to be there. Finally, he's got the starport and he's adding the reactor on, but Overlords have had free reign for the first 12 minutes of the game here, which is just lovely for Destiny. He's got so much map awareness.
Yeah, he still doesn't have any turrets, and I don't think he knows that mutas are on the field. He hasn't fought them yet, and he does not scouted the Spire.
It's really weird that he would not realize it, though, because the third base went down so late. Even if it got cancelled, like, hang on a minute, why is your third as late as it is? Because normally, if a Zerg's just going for the more standard Baneling muta play, he'd get the Spire later, and he'd just get his third base up sooner. But Destiny, all of these games, has never done that. You know, he's just got his second hatch at his natural, and then gone for his Spire after Lair, and then gone for his third base. Nice little pick off there by Destiny. Gets an add-on, picks off an SCV and a building missile turret there. These Hellions still alive, which is always nice. Another Ling run by coming in right here, and Nathanias trusts the Widowmine, and that's a mistake, because the Widowmine is not going to help you, I'm afraid.
I'm not going to lie. Before this game, I messaged him, and I said, don't build Widowmines.
Stop building Widowmines. They are absolutely useless. Like, he's better off with tanks at this point. At least they would do something, but Nathanias has had the worst Widowmine luck throughout this entire series. Oh, wow. Really quick hive here, actually, from Destiny. Not the quickest, but quick enough. So he's going to go really heavy into, I think, 3-3 almost immediately once he's able to make that happen. But Nathanias is going for a 2-2 kind of timing here, and he's going to be able to hit before 2-2 finishes here for Destiny.
Yeah, and it could be powerful. I mean, some good Widowmine hits could nullify a lot of that army, but we
know that will never happen. So
yep, the wishful thinking.
Yeah, it's like it could happen. Absolutely, there is a possibility that it might happen.
Oh, Burrow Banelings right on that.
Oh, there it is. And it kills like 2 units. That's unfortunate. Did a little bit of splash damage, but Destiny's Burrow Banelings haven't quite been up to scratch at the moment. But they're doing a bit. That's not too bad, and Destiny's got plenty more. And if Nathanias wants to push towards that third base, he's got to go over about 5 miles of creep to get there. And that's going to suck. There's no doubt about that. And Destiny's going to add more creep tumors in here as well, just to make sure that it's reinforced.
Nope, and there comes the preemptive scans.
Yep. Oh, he wants to look for the Banelings. That's the big stim right here. And he's got... Oh, Destiny's fighting kind of just before 2-2, but it seems to be, for the most part, be going okay. We've got a full retreat here. Oh, the Widowmine hits! Actually hits something. If only Nathanias split in any way, then he might have actually had a better fight there.
Yep, and the medevac control wasn't on point. You know, he lost his medevacs. The one had, I think, a half filled with Marines. But, you know, it wasn't bad with those Widowmine hits. At least we got, you know, some kills off those.
Yep, Nathanias actually killed something with a Widowmine. That should be a little achievement pop up there for him. But, I mean, that did work pretty well. If he'd split better against the Banelings, he would have been able to retain some Marines, then maybe fight against the Mutas. But, I mean, these are Destiny Mutas. There's a lot of them, and they're about to have +2, so it's a bit dicey. Nathanias, you're donating lings! No. Okay, he's relying on Widowmines again. Okay, yeah, this is probably not going to go well. The Banelings come in, and Nathanias with a bit of a pre-split, but nowhere near enough. Gets completely overrun again. Although, this time around, you know, Nathanias' economy can kind of support this, which it couldn't last time.
I don't know, because Nathanias is coming out with these small armies, and he's writing checks that they can't cash, because he goes out, and he loses a lot, and he's banking on those Widowmine shots, which do not do well.
Are you claiming Nathanias is a fraudster at this point? Is that what you're saying to me right now?
I don't know if I'm going that far. I'm just saying that I'm not seeing, I'm not understanding his decision making.
But you're not denying it.
Okay,
that's all we need to know. Don't worry about it. You've given us more than enough information for today. Thank you. All right, well, Destiny's going to morph that Overseer. It was a nice little move, actually, because it absorbed a Widowmine shot, and then, of course, morphs in with full health. It's a neat little trick. And Destiny cleans up the Widowmines. Currently, there's only 4 on the map. He is building a few more. 3-3 is on the way, but in a strange twist of fate, we're going to see it out for Destiny before it's out for the Terran player, which almost never happens. And we've even got the Adrenal Glands upgrade coming in right here. A little bit of nice Baneling kiting here from Nathanias, but Destiny is really starting to power home on those units now. And Nathanias is in a bit of trouble. He's trying to expand, trying to take a 4th base, but Destiny already has one, and it's the same problem Nathanias has been having throughout this entire series. Like, where's his harassment? Has he been able to do any? No, he hasn't.
No, and I will say this for Nathanias. You know, his 3-3 is not far behind, so he's not going to have that significant upgrade disadvantage for a while. But I think he needs to just step back for a minute and just get a big enough army to split against those Banelings.
Yeah, I think he's probably better off just kind of defending. Like, what is this push going to accomplish? The creep's basically halfway across the map. If Nathanias is pushed towards... This is actually going to be a 5th base here for Destiny, good God. Maybe he could snipe that 5th, but it wouldn't even matter. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that 5th is probably just there to bait Nathanias in and just say, hey, oh, absolutely, you go and attack this hatchery. That looks juicy, doesn't it? Yeah. But at the moment, Nathanias hasn't hit any of the key bases or any of the key tech, so it's like he can posture in the middle of the map as much as he likes, but he's not getting anything done with it.
And here comes nice force, but with those Mutas and Banelings, that's not gonna do it. It's not gonna cut it. I think he needs to start flying around the map a little more. He needs to try dropping and splitting up this army.
Yeah, I think you need to do that like 10 minutes ago, honestly, and just try and do a little bit of damage to a drone line. You can see in workers killed, like Destiny's killed 15 workers and Nathanias has killed 0. And he does have the Hellbats this time around, which is gonna help a little bit, but that's a lot of Banelings coming down there and a big hit.
Creep.
Oh, that's absolutely brutal. The Terran army completely obliterated. There is a Widowmine, and it does hit like 1 Muta, and it doesn't really matter at this point. The Muta count is now actually so large, I think it's going to overrun the entire army. And Nathanias in full retreat needs to borrow those Widowmines very quickly, and that was not quick enough. And now, suddenly, the Zerg army is at the door, and knock, 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 down it goes. Do you have a moment to hear about the Lord and Savior, Mr. Baneling here?
Oh man, the power of Tasia is not with Nathanias tonight.
No, it is
you know, I'd say even more than the good game.
GG.
I'd say even more than the Widowmine usage was his lack of drop play. I think that is critical to keeping the Zerg on his toes.
Well, yeah, I mean, Destiny was basically allowed to do whatever he wanted for 3 maps straight, unfortunately. And those pushes onto creep, unless you get something done significantly, are really not worthwhile. And he wasn't able to keep the creep back either. Initially, he was doing all right. With the first, like, 6 Heli and 2 Reaper harass, it was going pretty well for him, but then he let it go, probably because he had to defend his 3rd base, he had to pull back. Destiny took advantage of that, he spread his creep out even more. He made it so that any attempt to go by land to the 3rd base, it was suicide. You don't want to be on that much creep at any point. And, I don't know, maybe he could have dropped, maybe not. I don't know. We saw the Overlord spread, man. It was really, really good from Destiny. I think he would have spotted those drops, he would have taken them out. So, yeah, Destiny showing a really commanding performance there.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting to watch, you know, and I had hoped for a little more from Nathanias. I do like to watch his stream every now and then, but I think it was just his lack of activity that really just put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, lack of doing anything is usually how you lose games in StarCraft 2, unfortunately. Nathanias, unfortunately, didn't quite do enough to keep up with what Destiny was doing. Destiny's build's really interesting. He doesn't play the same way that a lot of the top-level Zergs do. That's probably the reason why they're top-level Zergs. But what I do like about his build is it just lets him get mutas out really fast. It lets him get Baneling speed out really fast because he's going up to lair much quicker than a regular Zerg would. So he gets his upgrades quick too. Now he's on 3-3 faster than I see most Zerg players get there. So it seems to work. You know, maybe it's a lower economy build, but it works for him. You know, he's able to make a lot happen with those forces.
Yeah, I like it. You know, that aggressive Zerg is something I like to see punished by Terran, but Destiny obviously made it work. He didn't get punished for it, and it shows that they letting that Zerg get to the bases and get a swing of economy. But even then, I'd say that Destiny didn't have to rely on the Zerg Remax ability. You know, he took very efficient trades against Nathanias.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have to remax because his units didn't die. That's a pretty good way of doing it. And playing as, I suppose, if you're gonna play bio, there's two really important things you've got to be able to do against a player that's playing that style, right? You've got to be able to split well, and you've got to be able to target fire your Widow Mines. And if you can't do either of those things, you're probably just gonna get run over. Because it's a lot easier for the Zerg player to hit you with a bunch of Banelings, Lings, and then use mutas to pick off your medevacs and retreating units than it is for you to split and target fire Widow Mines. So, I don't know, maybe like against that you've got to play a bit of a different style. Maybe you have to go Hellbat heavy, maybe you have to play more defensively with tanks, maybe you have to play Turtle Mech against that, just because you would do a little bit better. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. It looks like Destiny is definitely on a bit of a different level there to Nathanias. At the moment, anyway. But, you know, Nathanias only recently reached TM, so he's still got a bit to go before he gets on the top tier like Destiny.
No, definitely. And you know, Destiny, I wonder what's the future holds for Destiny, because obviously he's grown constantly. I haven't seen him take a backslide yet. So I wonder where he's going to end up, you know, if he's going to start competing in like WCS or something like that.
Well, I mean, I've heard like Pro League recruitment is on the way there for Destiny. SKT1 and Jin both actually looking for him really hard. I think there's a bidding war going on right now, although you know, keep that to yourself. It's very secret esports information that would probably get you banned from Reddit.
Yeah, you know, something like, you know, I think that Nesty is going to be kicked off. Destiny brought on.
Yeah, gem management absolutely will be pushing for that, no doubt. I can totally imagine that. But hey, you know, Destiny took a game from Nesty, which obviously means, you know, Pro League is the next thing for him.
Yeah, oh no, absolutely. Destiny is a great player, and I like to watch him, you know. And Nathanias is good too, but Nathanias, you know, spending all that time casting, I guess, you know, Kappa, we can say that's the reason why he didn't win tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you cast, then you basically should just retire as a pro gamer, so there's no real reason to continue to cast. Or you could transition to Hearthstone. I mean, that works too. I mean, that's where all the bad Starcraft players went, so if you want to do that, by all means, it's a good way to go. I mean, I'd say go to Heroes of the Storm, but that would involve people actually wanting to watch Heroes of the Storm. So, maybe not.
There was that Heroes hype, and then it's kind of just died down.
Yeah, the Heroes hype for all 2 days. It was incredible. It's like, well, it turns out, actually, if you don't let a lot of people into your game, then people don't actually just want to sit there watching it for days. Who knew? Anyway. For those who think I don't like Destiny, by the way, no. We've just been trolling the entire stream. Don't worry, relax. We're all friends here, mostly. It was a fun little series, and of course, big thanks to Gosu Pizza for putting on that little show match for you guys. A little bit impromptu. Wanted to get it out to as many people as possible. I heard it was going to happen. I said, hey, definitely want in on that. I want to cast that. It's going to be the match of the century. And it was. You know, it was literally impossible to tell the difference between that game and top Pro League competition. You know?
Yeah, really. I thought it was like 5 in the morning Eastern Standard, you know, when this game started.
Yeah, I mean, both players definitely played like it was 5 in the morning Eastern Standard. There's no doubt. No doubt.
That's a bad way to word it. What I meant is that's usually when I get up to watch Pro League.
I generally don't get the opportunity to speak like that in a professional environment. So thank you. Thank you, Lycan, for giving me that opportunity. I appreciate that very much. That was a wonderful gift.
Not a problem.
It's okay. It's about to be Independence Day, so I get to be super salty as a British man living in North Carolina at this moment. So.
All right, you know, you celebrating what could have been the 4th of July Eve or whatever
Yeah.
Newcastle Brown is promoting.
Yeah, I like to call it National Health Service Day.
Oh, nice.
Is that a little bit too close to the bone? Yeah.
It stings.
I pay my insurance premiums. I know how much it stings. It's like that's more of a self-burn right now than anything else. It's like, yeah, fuck me. Oh, shit. All right, well, if people want to check out your site and Gosu Pizza, why don't you give them the blurb on what exactly that involves, where they can go to get involved, and exactly what it is that you guys do.
Okay, so Ascended Star League, the people who run that, they help me run Gosu Pizza. So you see their posts on Reddit. That is the way to find out what's going to happen. We post on our Reddit. Gosu Pizza is the league. We do 1 league a week, so it's going to be Bronze League, 1 league, Silver League next week, etc. You sign up. First 16 players get to play. You win, you get a free pizza. North America, you get a free pizza. Anyone else, you get a Jinx gift certificate because my debit card keeps getting canceled. You can also follow me at ESM_shake, SHEIKH. I'll post it in the Twitch chat. You follow. Again, you know, we do random pizza giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. And if you're at Red Bull Battlegrounds Atlanta, come say hi. I will be there, and I will have a pair of shoes that literally have Tasia's face on them.
Wow. Well, that's a thing that I haven't heard in my life. I can safely say that that's one off the bucket list. Someone actually said that in real life, and it wasn't a joke. At least I hope it wasn't a joke. If you let me down on this, I'm going to be really disappointed.
You shall not be let down.
Fantastic. I need photographic and probably video evidence of this. That and, like, you finding a Protoss player and just kicking them repeatedly, I think that would be amazing.
I'm actually competing. I mean, we get my shit stomped in, but I'm competing, and I'm hoping those shoes, you know, I can channel some of Tasia's energy.
Well, hopefully you won't attract ants in the same way that Tasia has lately. He's too sweet, man. That's why, you know? Tasia's too sweet, so he attracts ants. There you go.
Sweet young man, and he got molested by ants.
He did. What a horrible experience for him. All right, folks, this has been the Gosu Pizza Supreme Showmatch, or Showmatch Supreme, whichever you prefer. Destiny taking it handily 3-0. Nathanias left to suffer and just reflect on his horrendous loss and the end of his competitive career, as well as the ruining of the scoreline for Root Gaming and his plummeting Alugalak rating. It's just going down. It really is. Oh my god. Was Nathanias the reason for Quantic Gaming disbanding? I mean, it is possible. We just don't know. Alright, folks, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this stream, and again, please don't take anything we said seriously. We were certainly just pulling your leg, as the British would say on that one. We're giving you a bit of a good old ribbon. So, hopefully that was fun for you, and of course, do remember to follow at ESM_chic, which is hard to spell. So look at the chat. Gosu Pizza is shamelessly whoring himself out in there right now. And we will see you next time. Big thanks to Nathanias, big thanks to Destiny and Gosu Pizza for setting this one up. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, TotalBiscuit.